Hi, I'm Dr. Walter Matwaychuk, and I'd like to talk to you today about how to escape the self-imposed prison of solitude with REBT. The other day, I heard a very interesting podcast on how Americans are tending to spend increasingly less time socializing and more time alone. And there's a researcher at the University of Chicago named Nicholas Epley who's done some very interesting research that shows that when we engage with other people, we have a profound impact on our mood. He's done research with people on trains and found that when we strike up a conversation with a stranger, we tend to then report that the trip we had on the train in our daily commute is far better than when we sit in solitude. I decided to put this research to a test in walking to my office last Saturday, and I decided I would say hello to every stranger that I encountered on the street as I walked to my office. I did so and quickly found that in about 20 different interactions where I merely said, "Good morning, I hope you have a good day," or "Good morning, I hope you have pleasant surprises today," or "Hello, have a good day," many strangers smiled and returned the pleasantry. Not everyone did, but many did. And it seemed to confirm what Epley's research showed, that when we even engage in a simple pleasantry with strangers, we boost our mood and create a certain improved level of happiness. And his position is that our happiness levels are not so much a function of intense positive events, but small, frequent positive events, and that a simple exchange of hellos and a simple positive greeting enthusiastically said with a stranger cannot have a positive impact on our mood as well as on the mood of other people. Furthermore, that when we go beyond that and have a conversation with a stranger, if we're on a train or in an elevator, that too can have a very positive impact on our mood state. Now, how does this tie in with REBT? Well, REBT attempts to liberate people and show them that they don't need the approval of other people and that they really can break out of their comfort zone by holding certain healthy attitudes. So, for example, when I did this experiment, I said to myself, look, I don't need the approval of other people, and I'm not going to harass them, but I'm going to simply say, "Hello, how are you? I hope you have a good day." And do that with some regularity and see what happens. Now, what I found, and I've confirmed this now on 3 trips back and forth to my office, that Epley's research seems to reflect what's going to happen to my mood and the mood of other people. It's bitter cold these days, and I find that when I say, "Hello, how are you? Have a good day," or "Hello, have a good day," and do this in an enthusiastic manner, people seem to smile and respond. Not all people do, but many. And when I hold the attitude that I don't need the approval of other people and I can get out of my comfort zone, I make this utterance. Now, I also have to admit that we seem, as Epley makes clear in the podcast interview, that we're both social animals, but on the other hand, we seem to assume that people don't want to talk to each other, when in fact, this is often not the case. And so REBT can help you get out of your comfort zone by saying, look, it might be a little awkward to start saying hello to people and wishing them a good day, but let me try it and see what effect it has on me and them. I could also take it a step further and say, I don't need their approval. If they think I'm strange for wishing them well, so be it. I don't have to disturb myself when other people don't respond in kind. And when I'm in an elevator or on a train, I can go beyond simply saying, "How are you?" and strike up a brief conversation with them, introduce myself or say hello. I hope you have a good evening. and see what follows. REBT attempts to help people determine their emotional destiny. And in my view, it's nice to be able to be friendly with people. And I am a believer that Epley's research is really true, that when we have multiple short conversations with people, even very brief conversations with strangers, we tend to notice a boost in our mood. And when we go beyond that and have a conversation with people, we very often have positive results. So what I would encourage you to do is, one, first go and listen to the Epley podcast, because I think he says it better than I do. But two, remember the message of REBT, that you don't have to disturb yourself if people don't respond in kind, and that you too don't need their approval. You may want them to respond in kind when you smile and enthusiastically wish them a good evening, or hope that they've had a few pleasant surprises, but you don't need them to respond that way, and you don't have to be upset about it. Now, let me be clear with one thing. I'm not encouraging you to harass anyone. I'm just encouraging you to do some experiments and see what being friendly with other people does to you and even to them, and do this sufficiently often so that you begin to see patterns emerge. I trust in his research, so I would encourage you strongly to listen to the podcast that I did, but more importantly, I encourage you to shamelessly get out of your comfort zone and see that you have a perfect right to be the social animal that you are, and to say hello to people. More often than not, they're not going to bite you. I haven't been bitten yet. And at the same time, I have made my walk back and forth to work on the streets of Manhattan far more enjoyable. Now, I'm not going to do this compulsively. Sometimes I'm going to listen to music or a podcast. But from time to time, I'm also going to get out of my comfort zone and stay out of my comfort zone and say to people, hello, how are you? I hope you had a good day, or I hope you have a good evening. So I would encourage you to do a little experiment like I did, or multiple experiments like I did, and test out Nick Epley's hypotheses for yourself. I would also like to remind you that every Saturday I do I hold a conversation with a stranger on the internet. It's called the Rational Emotive Behavioral Conversation Hour. It's on Zoom. It's at 9 a.m. It's free to attend. And during this conversation, I show people how to think in a healthy way about adversity, whether it be the fear of rejection, or the inability to get out of their comfort zone, or how to overcome misuse of substances, or how to overcome unhealthy feelings of anxiety, anger, depression, or shame. I have done this now for 236 consecutive weeks, and have found that people from all over the world will talk to me, and I show them how REBT could be applied to their particular problem. So if you would like to join us on Saturdays, write to me at rebtdoctor.com, and I'll be happy to send you the link. You can also go to my website, rebtdoctor.com, and take advantage of all the free resources that are found there. There are many free audios on REBT, which is Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy. And I would encourage you to attend these Zoom conversations, because at the end of the 40 minutes, I then take questions from the audience. Again, that email address is rebtdoctor@gmail.com. It's at 9 a.m. here in New York City, and you could translate that to the time it would be to wherever you are in the world, and see for yourself. Hope to see you on Saturday.